Welcome to the final part of renovating a Mary Beam engine. As you can see, I have made a link for the governor. I was waiting for a drawing to be sent from a friend of mine, but he must have forgotten. So I thought, well, I'd better get on with it because I need to finish this and move on to another engine. So it's finished now and it works quite well. It's still a little on the stiff side, but it will soon work loose. There's never enough mass in the governor balls on these small engines. The butterfly valve is not very effective at shutting off the steam, but nevertheless it looks better with the link in place. Before I forget, I thought I would clean up the brass nameplate. This brass nameplate is one of these kind of nameplates that I think you actually solder the letters in, and it's quite good. Historically, and even more recently with my painting, the nameplate has been overpainted with some green paint. So it's time to remove this, and to do this I would use a ruler, a steel ruler, as a scraper. You will notice that there is still some painting left to do on this engine, around the top of the columns. All I have to do is remove the 4 ornamental nuts and clean them up, shine them up on my polishing spindle, then paint the top of the column and refit the nuts. The last video covered the painting, and it's just a little bit more of that, so I'm not going to bother recovering it in this episode. This is a small piece of 800 grit wet-to-dry sandpaper, and I'm holding it over the steel rule to give me a straight edge to continue cleaning up the nameplate. This nameplate is not very even, so I think what I'll do is just use the sandpaper on its own. Once I've finished with the wet-to-dry sandpaper, I would switch to a cotton cloth. This polishes the plate. I don't want to use metal polish because otherwise I will end up with white residue, and I'll have to start the white spirit process again. I generally use this stuff for polishing steam engines. It's been out for years, and of course it's called Brasso. And I'm going to use Brasso on the flywheel. Now you have a choice. You can either do it this way, or run the engine and live dangerously and do it this way. Now I cannot recommend this at all. At this point, I would like to state that cleaning a steam engine flywheel like this is not recommended. I'm only doing it for the purposes of the video. I cannot be held responsible for any injuries to anyone who decides to try this themselves. Even with an engine of this size, severe injury would result if you caught your fingers in the flywheel. It's not going to stop in a hurry, and there's quite a lot of mass there going around. So once again, do not try this at home. The only real parts I'm cleaning up on this engine are the flywheel and the top of the beam, and of course the brass frame surrounding the entire bed plate. The rest of the gunmetal and brass parts have a really nice patina, and I really don't want to disturb this because I like the effect of the age on the pieces of metal. Because the engine is largely made from gunmetal and brass, things like the governor would look unrealistic if they were polished up. But certain items on an engine look really nice polished up, and it's very easy to do as I've just shown, to polish up the rim of the flywheel, and also I polished up the top of the beam, which I didn't bother showing. As you can see, the engine really looks the part. It's got a great patina for an old engine, it's very well made, and with a bit of digital enhancement, we're back in the Industrial Revolution. Thanks for watching this short series, and I hope you found it useful.